Hello, welcome to another episode of Retro for You. Today, bit of a nostalgia trip for me, working on a British icon computer, the BBC Micro. Yes, myself and probably others on this channel, we used to use these at school, so many fond memories of playing that game at junior school where you had to get the animals across the river on the boat. I think it was a fox, a chicken, a cat and a bird, and you had to get them in a certain order so they didn't eat each other basically. And also there was another game that we used to play at high school called Imogen, where you had this little wizard and he turned into a bird and a cat, and you had to use it to solve different puzzles to get across different obstacles. Really good game, and I want to get that going one day on these machines. So what we're going to do today is we're going to crack on with this, and we're going to look on the 16-bit expansion I've got as well, which is supposed to be uber rare. So I think there's only about 4 or 5 in existence, one being in a museum. So if we can get that going, it's going to be a first for the show, and also a first for me because it runs OS 9 and I've never used OS 9 before in my life. So massive learning curve coming up. So I need to get through this quite quickly because I'm about to go to a Comic-Con convention near me, Northwich, where my daughter's got a store. She's selling cartoon stuff, like cartoon pictures, etc. She does illustrations for comics, so I'm going to go there and show my support for her, and maybe also as well I'm going to wear my t-shirt and get some new subs. So I'll see you soon, guys, and we'll crack on with this BBC. Hi, welcome to Retro for You. Like I said before, we're stripping down this, a BBC B. So let's crack on with this and listen to some music while we strip it down. It should be easy and quick. After all, they're built like tanks. So, like I said, that was very easy. I think it was 7 screws in total. So the power supply is ready to be lifted out, as you can tell. The keyboard just basically needs unplugging from here. And whether we take the main board out or not, it doesn't look too bad. It looks like it needs a bit of a clean here and there. But I think the main thing we're going to do today is get this power supply sorted, because they've got the RIFA caps in that go basically explode everywhere. So we're going to get that sorted, and then we'll do a power on test at the end of it. Okay, so let's get this power supply removed. Now the wires are plugged onto the board here. They are marked on the board, negative and positive. They basically go into spade connectors, so it's really easy. And then you have a purple one here which feeds a 5-volt line, and basically you have to pull the power supply up like this. I said easier said than done. Perhaps I need to remove the keyboard. Okay, I was just testing you guys there. So what I do, I remove this keyboard. For that I need a Phillips screwdriver, and there's just a little nut on each side here. So as you can see here, there's a little nut on each side for the keyboard. And the keyboard just basically just plugs on like so with some pin connectors, and then lifts off, and then the speaker is also plugged on here as well, so that just lifts off as well. So now we've got that keyboard out of the way, we can actually lift the power supply out now. There you go. And then the cable will just pull out the back. Like so. Until we get to the plug. You can see there. So we'll just keep feeding that through. And then the plug, I think you lie it on its back. And you sort of like pull it up at an angle and out it comes. So there's the BBC in the board. Out the way. And then here is the power supply. So that's ready now to be taken apart and recapped. Okay, so we got the BBC back. We're going to get this rebuilt. Let's crack on. Okay, so that's that built up. It seems to be working. Now we're going to test it in a minute. But first, before we test this and plug it up, we're going to move this out of the way and we're going to have a look at the 16-bit board like I promised. Okay, so in this bag is something uber rare. So I've been told. I think there's about 4 in existence, maybe more. It's made by Cumana. It is a 68,000 second CPU for the BBC B, which has its own disk controller and runs the operating system OS 9. Now, I have found some information from the Centre of Computer History, and I will put that page up now so we can have a quick read and learn a bit more about this. So, as you can see here at the Centre for Computer History, this is it, the Cumana 68008 Issue 2 second processor. It's basically a second processor board for the BBC Micro. The socket at the bottom connects to the 68008 second processor to the BBC Micro. The 6502 CPU is removed and the ribbon cable is plugged into the socket, which is basically underneath here. Then the Cumana 68 processor, it has its own disk controller, which is here. It runs OS 9 from its own floppy drive, and it is shipped with standard OS 9 utilities and applications, which I do have on original and on disk. Board was developed with Vivway Limited, who are UK agents for Microware Systems Corporation, who developed OS 9. So basically there's a copy of the installation guide here for the BBC upgrade, which we will be following eventually, and also a copy of the circuit diagram, which could come in handy. There's also an article here from Cumana launching 16-bit processor. It was launched in 1985. So really interesting thing. So if we just have a quick look at this, there you go. Very basic, but Cumana launched its 16-bit processor. Cumana released a 16-bit second processor for the BBC Micro. It uses Motorola 68008, already using Sinclair's QL and the new Atari ST machines. Unlike other second processors, this plugs inside the BBC's case and plugs into the 6502 processor and relocate into the chip, basically. So you relocate the processor back to this board. The board is supplied with 0.5 MB of memory, which is not expandable at present. A double density floppy disk controller is also supplied based on the 2797 controller chip and OS 9 again. And they were priced at $695 plus VAT. So I guess at the time, quite expensive. So let's switch back to this and have a look at it. So let's get this out. Now, the one thing we're going to do today is remove this here, this dreaded battery, as these are terrible things and they just tend to leak like it has. It's basically like a Vata but made by RS. So we're going to cut that out today, or maybe desolder it. I'm going to look at it and see which is the quickest option and basically give the board a clean around this area. I mean, that's basically all we're going to do with this today, because I need to get the other BBC going before we can even look at this, and probably lift a few of these ICs maybe and resolder them. Okay, so let's get on with that. Okay, so these are the 3 points here I want to desolder. So we're going to flux them up. Desolder them with a desolder gun. So hopefully now we should be able to lift that battery. Basically in solid, you can see here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to snip it. Get the snips. I'm going to snip it out, and then because I don't want to risk damaging this board. So there's one out. So there's a couple of points here as well. And off with the battery. There it is. A RS MEM pack, 3.6 volt, 100 milliamp. So you can see basically the main point was around here. So we're just going to get some IPA and just put some IPA down here and just let it rest a minute, and then we'll get some cotton wool buds and proceed to clean this up. I do have a ultrasonic cleaner that I can stick it in later, but for now I wanted to get that battery off. There you go. So you can see there, it doesn't look too bad at all. It could have been a lot worse than what it is. And obviously there's a crystal there that's got some sort of corrosion on the top. The board itself, we got a knackered capacitor there, I can see. See that capacitor? So we need to find out what value that and get that replaced as well. So I reckon we'll be in a good chance to get this going. But like I say, first I wanted to get this battery out and out of the way. So like I said, we've got this battery off now. We've got it cleaned. We know we need a capacitor there, so I'm going to look at the schematic later and work out what we need for next time. We'll get that changed out. Other than that, I think what we're going to do, we're going to put this away for now because we can't really do anything. But we can have a quick look around if you want. That's obviously where your 6502 goes in, if that was right. The processor from the Beeb. Then underneath you've got the socket here, which plugs where you took the BBC processor out. Now there's a couple of bent pins here, but we can sort them out straight away anyway. It's easy enough. What I'm going to do on that, I'm going to get a bit of foam to stick over that to protect the pins. So that's that protected, you see. It's always good to protect things like this, especially with the age of them and the rarity. So, like I say, also we've got the disc controller here, which is quite interesting. And there's your Motorola 68008 processor. And obviously there's memory here, etc. So it should be quite interesting when it's running. I've never used OS 9 before, so it's going to be a big learning curve if I do get it running. So we do need to make the OS 9 ROM, but I have got one somewhere anyway, but we're going to make a new one. And also we've got the original discs as well, which is a big help, because apparently the discs are quite hard to get hold of, and we've got a surviving original copy of these discs, and I've got a backup of them as well, so it should all be good. And once we get the other BBC going soon, we're crack on. We're doing a video just on this unit. So for now, we're going to go back to that BBC we replaced the power supply in. So this is going back in its bag. It's going somewhere safe. At least now we know this dreaded battery is gone. So let's crack on again. I'll see you soon with the BBC. Okay, so BBC B testing time. This thing is huge. It takes up all my desk. I even have to pull it off the desk a bit. So let's get this connected up. I plugged in the power. I've got the composite lead here with the adapter ready to connect up. So we'll get that connected. So that's all connected now. And what we're going to do is we're going to switch to the video capture. Now again, this may work, it may not work. You know what it's like, it's hit and miss. So here we go. So going to the video capture device. And I'll switch it over, and we're going to hit the power button. I hear the beep, and there you go. Look at that. Seems to be working. Let's just try. I love it when something works. Can't find the delete button. I love the sound of this keyboard. I mean, it's just amazing. So there you go. It all seems to be working, doesn't it? I mean, what we got to do, we've got to work on the I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think these might be outputting in black and white monochrome. I think there is a mod inside you can do to get colour out of the composite, which requires replacing the capacitor and basically joining a jumper. Correct me if I'm wrong, I might be wrong. I might be reading about something else, but if that's the case, we'll get that done next time. All seems to be working. Another retro machine saved. If you're here for the first time, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, and comment down below. Always helps, even if you're saying hello, helps the channel. And that's basically it for now. There'll be plenty more BBC stuff to come. There's loads to do. There's loads in pipeline. I've got jobs going on all the while, and I've got videos recording all the while as well. So I shall see you next time on Retro for You. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.